Hello, I'm Dr. Frank Granito, Chief Scientist for the Institute for Digital Transformation, and welcome to our annual end-of-year message. As Chief Scientist, I'm responsible for all our intellectual property and research. So maybe you'd like to talk to me about our rapid research, where we take the pulse of the industry on a burning question. This research takes weeks, not months, and gives you a snapshot of an issue important to you. As we reflect on the past year, we have had a lot of accomplishments, such as all of our new content, the thought leadership of our Institute fellows, and a new platform for our Transformation Accelerator tool, and the launching of a brand new service, Advisory Plus, which you'll hear more about later. With a healthy mix of anxiety, optimism, and confidence, we also have a lot to look forward to in the new year. Over the next few minutes, you're going to hear from professionals who are much smarter than me, offer their reflections on the past year and some bold predictions for the new one. As for me, I'm going to play it safe and predict that we at the Institute will continue to provide you with great content and services in the new year. So, here at the Institute for Digital Transformation, we wish you a happy holiday season and a healthy and prosperous new year. Now sit back and enjoy my friends and colleagues here at the Institute. Take care.
Hi, I'm Jessica Carroll, founder of JCX Strategies, Chief Experience Officer, and former CIO. So I want to share with you that I've been extremely interested and intrigued by all of the discussions we've all been having around AI. I mean, it is everywhere. We cannot get away from this conversation, which is kind of funny. Here I am talking to you about it today. But what intrigues me so much about this is the human impact, the human effect in all of these conversations. We are talking so much about how these processes, the tool, how it impacts and changes the way we work, how it affects the skills that we're going to need, how it's going to impact the roles that exist or don't exist anymore. All of this is surrounding how it impacts us as humans. And I find this interesting, not just for that topic in and of itself, but because we've asked these questions before. Historically, we've asked these very same questions every time a new technology sort of takes root into our lives. And it's always about the human effect. Many organizations are really struggling when it comes down to it, how to fit the aspiration of AI into their daily work, partnering with humans, and how it's going to impact all of us. The human effect is central to this conversation. My prediction for 2026 is that those organizations that take this conversation around the human effect and figure out how to operationalize the transformation that is required to really truly turn AI into the human partner, into the good, useful, dynamic way that AI can help enhance our lives, our products, our services. Those organizations that can operationalize that aspect of the AI discussion are those organizations that are going to succeed in finding a return on investment for AI. As it's getting dark here, clearly I'm sitting here, it's early in the day in my opinion, but it's so dark out. It tells me that our year is coming to a close. And with that, I'm wishing all of you the best of holidays, very happy new year, and I look forward to all of us talking more about AI and the human effect in 2026.
Happy holidays. I'm Wendy Keene, a fellow with the Institute for Digital Transformation. I'm a thought leader, educator, and advisor, and I help organizations to build their end-to-end strategy to execution capacity enabled by business architecture. I have the great honor of working with organizations around the world, both on the ground and virtually, in this space of strategy execution and business architecture. So I thought I would share 3 trends and 1 prediction for 2026. The first trend that I see, which is a continuation, increasing momentum, is that there's increasing recognition of strategy to execution as an essential function like any other. And that is because it gives us the ability to change, which of course has never been more important in our digital, fast-paced, and connected world. The second trend related is that I am seeing more and more executives recognizing and stewarding the enterprise mindset. And this means seeing an organization as an interconnected system, thinking as one enterprise. I've even seen some organizations go as far as promoting enterprise citizenship, where we not only take responsibility for our individual goals, but also for our shared goals and outcomes as an organization. And this also includes acting with coherence and bringing people together for strategy, organizational design, and execution. And more than ever before, I see executives setting specific imperatives, principles, or goals around being capability driven in order to facilitate this enterprise mindset shift. And the third trend that I see is more and more different communities and different roles that are appreciating and wanting to leverage strategic business architecture. This includes the GRC community, the ESG community, and of course, more and more organizations are leveraging the blueprints of business architecture to guide decision-making around AI. So my prediction for 2026 is that strategy execution as a cornerstone of transformation and organizational agility will start to become a CEO and ExCo level conversation. This is, in fact, based on concrete things I can already point to. And the reason is, again, the increasing appreciation that organizations need to be really good at strategy execution, and we need to be really adaptive to change. Strategy and its execution are interlocking and need to move at a much faster pace than ever before. So as you look to 2026, the mandate is clear. Make strategy execution a top-tier executive priority. This includes establishing strategy execution as a core enterprise function, stewarding the enterprise mindset from the top, adopting capability-driven principles and ways of working, and intentionally designing your organization to be adaptive. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight and inspiration as you look towards the new year. I wish you a beautiful holiday season and a joyful and successful 2026. All the best.
Hello, my name is 𝗏𝗂𝗵 Giorgio. I'm the CEO of 𝗓𝗏 Therapeutics, a company bringing to market a wearable device to treat Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases and improve brain health. I'm also the managing partner of 𝗖𝗄𝗄 Partners, a strategic advisory and investment firm that focuses on digital transformation at a global scale. Prior to 𝗓𝗏, I was the co-founder and CEO of 𝗏𝗏𝗿𝗁, an AI company focused on global risk management that was sold to Dun & Bradstreet a couple of years ago. As an Institute Fellow, I contribute my global expertise in technology, business strategy, solution design, and product development to the collective pool of knowledge the Institute leverages to develop programs and services for companies and executive teams in the process of transformation. When it comes to predictions about the future, One of my favorite lines is from William Gibson, a sci-fi writer who famously said, "The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed." So my prediction is based on one of the trends I see reaching the tipping point of distribution that will get broader acceptance in 2026. That trend is the use of technoceuticals. Technoceuticals is basically the use of technology and digital products in addition or instead of pharmaceuticals to improve health and treat diseases. With healthcare costs rising exponentially, patients and health systems are looking for innovative solutions and are becoming more accepting of these products. A good example is brain health. Over the last 200 years, we have nearly doubled the human lifespan by focusing on improving physical health. But we also created a large gap in the brain health required to sustain longer lifespans. Pharmaceutical solutions are expensive and come with significant side effects. So right now, there are a half dozen devices that are either wrapping up clinical testing with really promising results, or like NeuroEM, are ready to deliver products to market in 2026. My prediction is that the number of people using technoceuticals for brain health in the US will at least double, if not triple, from the current 2 million users. I wish you a great holiday season and excellent health for 2026.
Hi, my name is Catherine Lancioni. I'm the founder and CEO of Presenting Perfection, the host of the Gut Punch podcast, and a fellow with the Institute for Digital Transformation. I'm delighted to be joining you today. I'd like to share a little bit about my background and, more importantly, talk about some of my predictions for 2026. My background is in the communications industry. I work as a college professor at Rutgers. I coach people of all ages in communication strategies. I have an expertise in working with men and women on how they can use their communication skills to help them evolve as leaders. I work with high school and college students on communication skills and executive function. And I also host a podcast, the Gut Punch podcast, that focuses on resilience. Part of my work now is focused on helping leaders understand that resilience is part of the job and how they can use their communication skills to empower them to be more resilient, more successful leaders. As far as my work with the Institute, I'm honored to be on the team with John, Frank, and so many other brilliant minds as we help organizations evolve and in some cases pivot into what digital transformation actually means for them. I think 2026 is going to be an exciting year for everyone. I think the concept of digital transformation is evolving. We saw that at the TechX conference in Europe. Now with this concept of digital transformation intersecting with AI, how are companies going to change? I think one of the big things is you're going to see the concept of ROI evolve or be reconceived as AI has a greater influence on that. I think that leaders are going to have to think more about what it means to be authentic. What we're seeing from Gen Z, millennials, and the emerging Gen Alpha, it's that it's real important for them to work for people and with people that they believe in. They want to know more than just something about someone's profession. They want to learn about who they are as a person. And I think during this holiday season, it's important that we all realize why it matters to be authentic, why it matters to be real, and why transformation is a part of all of us. Whether it's personal transformation, corporate transformation, or some other type of transformation we haven't encountered yet. I think during this holiday season, you have to be thankful for the people that are around you that help you transform, that help you lead, that help you become better professionals, and ultimately help you become better humans. So I wish you all the happiest of holidays and hope to meet some of you and work with you in 2026. Thanks.
Hello, this is Hans Killier here from the Institute of Digital Transformation. I am also the head of advisory service. This is very much a new practice within the Institute of Digital Transformation, where we actually try to help companies practically as advisors and with services to boost and accelerate the digital transformation. And during the year, it's been a very interesting development of this service, where we defined a number of services such as business transformation accelerator, coaching on call, the industry 4.0 playbook, and so on, and everything to help our customers to take that a leap forward when it comes to digital transformation. I am working a lot with digital transformation, strategy, governance issues, portfolio management, and general good stuff for companies. Anyway, 3 predictions for the coming year. Number 1, I read somewhere that we have approximately 100,000 AI companies starting up, and only a fraction of them are making any sort of profits. So my prediction is that it will be this AI bubble will burst in some way, and hope it will be very smooth. Second prediction, I hope that the war between Russia and Ukraine will come to an end, and that the world economy will more or less stabilize and be a little bit more friendly going forward. And thirdly, this is my primary prediction, and that is that my friend Frank Granito will start making Swedish food and Swedish fika for the coming year. That's it. All take care, and god jul och gott nytt år önskar vi i Sverige. Hej då!
Hi, I'm Nita Sanger, CEO of Idea Innovate Consulting. We are a growth strategy and digital transformation services firm focused on the professional services industry. When we say professional services, we're talking about audit, tax, and advisory firms, law firms, and other firms in legal services and financial services. What we do is we work with firms in the industry and the investors to build next generation growth models that take into account the human intelligence, technology, and trust to create scalable systems for growth. We are at this very interesting inflection point in the industry, and in 2026 we see this sort of continue to sort of become even stronger. What we are seeing is that there's a huge change, that the customers' needs are changing. Along with that, what this is doing is there's a lot of private equity investment coming into these services businesses, trying to move them from just being people enabled to being people plus tech enabled, and all the technologies that are there that are actually changing and disrupting the way that people tend to work. This is likely to impact how the firms deliver their services, like the people that they're going to need, how they deliver those services, the kind of services or what services they can actually be delivering, and then how they need to be pricing for those services. So at this point, the whole industry and all these industries tend to be in an upheaval, and some of them at an earlier stage versus others. So in financial services, we've seen that industry has actually been putting a lot of time, effort, and funding into transforming how they deliver to clients in a very different way. The next one that actually follows is professional services, which is audit, tax, and advisory, which have seen huge amounts of money go into them in the last few years, which are now actually transforming how the firms deliver their products and services, the services they deliver, and who actually delivers them. And the legal industry, which is in the slowest at this point of time, but we're starting to see increasing interest of PE going into this space as well. So I think when we're in 2026, we're going to see a huge change in all of these industries, and we're going to start seeing that there's going to be huge amounts of consolidation. We'll see some firms emerging as winners and some of them not doing as well. And while I know everybody gets very excited about all the technology, we think what's going to determine the firms that win from the ones that don't is going to be the talent, because at the end of the day, all services businesses are very much dependent on talent. It's going to be the right leadership that is in place that's able to sort of position the businesses for long-term growth. And then it's going to be the talent and how the talent gets empowered in those firms by their leaders to be able to help transform and innovate the business to take it to the next level, because they're the ones who are the closest to the clients. And last and certainly not the least, who need to be at the center of all of this are clients who are very much looking for different services from their providers, and are also very willing to work with them to help them, develop those solutions that they need that would best meet their needs. So it's going to be, while we talk about technology being the one that's going to drive change, I would say it's going to be the talent and the leadership that drives it, how they empower their employees and their clients. And then last but certainly not least is all the different technologies that are going to be out there. So I think we're in for a very interesting time in 2026. To anyone who's looking to figure out what they need to do to transform the business, can feel free to reach out to me and my team, and we would be happy to come and discuss this with you further. With that, I wanted to wish you all a very happy holidays, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, I'm Ray Sheen. I'm a fellow with the Institute for Digital Transformation. I've been working with the Institute for over 6 years and been involved with the completion of several of the major initiatives. In addition to my involvement with the Institute, I lead a consulting practice called Product and Process Innovation, where we are involved with bringing new technology to industrial processes and products. We've done this for over 30 years. Now, originally, we were upgrading products, upgrading processes with the latest technology. Over the last few years, it's been more connecting the different steps in a manufacturing process and connecting products to business operations and services in the effort of digital transformation. This connectivity is now where much of the innovation is occurring. On a personal note, I'm an engineer with multiple engineering degrees. I've been working in research laboratories on product development projects and manufacturing upgrade projects for over 30 years. In fact, I was doing automation projects back when I was still working at a Fortune 100 company. And that leads me to my observation of the trends that I'm seeing right now in industry. And that trend is more and more automation. And the automation is not just improving a single step, it's now connecting the automation between manufacturing steps and enhancing that automation with cobots, collaborative robots. These are robots that work with a manufacturing technician or operator as they're doing their work to improve the quality, reduce the cost, and just significantly improve the productivity of that operator. This leads me to my prediction for 2026. Cobots are going to be further enabled with artificial intelligence, AI. And as we see that expansion of cobots, these AI-enabled cobots, it's going to lead to a manufacturing process that not only is faster and lower cost, but more importantly, is more flexible and adaptable. This means that now new product production lines aren't going to require months to set up a pilot line and get things rolling. Instead, this new product is going to be able to be launched in days. This is going to lead to rapid innovation and explosion of new products, new systems, new services that we can't even begin to envision right now. I hope you've had a great 2025, and we'll have a 2026 characterized by peace, prosperity, and happiness. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I hope you have a fantastic new year.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nora Osman, fellow at the Institute for Digital Transformation and founder and CEO of 𝗂𝗏𝗻. It's wonderful to be part of this community of leaders who are shaping what modern service and experience should look like. At 𝗂𝗏𝗻, we help organizations simplify, modernize, and elevate their service delivery. Our work begins by blending customer experience, employee experience, and operational excellence into human-centered approaches. In practical terms, we partner with companies who want to transform how they serve their employees and customers, removing friction and design services that feel simple, solid, and scalable. If you'd like to learn more, you can visit my new website at www.getnorvana.com. My primary area of expertise is experience-driven service transformation, and that comes from over 25 years of hardcore service in the trenches. I focus on how organizations can use culture, technology, and process redesign to create meaningful human experiences, not just better workflows. After all, every interaction with a human is really a moment of truth, and you can either be a hero or a zero in that one. And right now, what I'm seeing are 3 trends that every executive should be paying attention to. The first trend is experiences becoming the new operational currency. Organizations are finally realizing that EX, employee experience, drives CX, customer experience. If your people struggle, your customers will absolutely feel it instantly. The second trend is AI is accelerating, but without clarity and governance, and it's creating more noise than value. Leaders must anchor AI to real problems, not just novelty items. And the third trend is that simplicity is becoming a competitive advantage. That's a real one. The simpler, the better. The companies winning today are the ones that are removing complexity, not adding layers of it. So these trends are reshaping how service organizations need to show up, communicate, and deliver value. So let's talk about predictions. My predictions for 2026 are this. Experience orchestration will finally go mainstream. Not just measuring experience, but connecting culture, workflows, AI, automation, and frontline support into a single end-to-end experience management model. And organizations will realize that you can't transform one piece of the puzzle in isolation. To truly elevate service, you must integrate people, process, and technology with intention. The leaders who embrace this shift early are going to see stronger trust, higher engagement, and customer experiences that actually feel like wow experiences, not just fine experiences. And as we close out the year, I want to wish all of you a joyful, peaceful holiday season. This work that we do daily can be intense, but it is incredibly meaningful. We touch the human side of transformation every single day, and the impact of that is real. I hope the year ahead brings you clarity, momentum, and moments that remind you why you do what you do. Happy holidays, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm 𝗏𝗂𝗺𝗃𝗃, CEO of the Institute for Digital Transformation, founder of the Digital Transformation Broadcast Network, the first business-to-business podcast hub. I'm also a board member and a LinkedIn top voice. And if you're curious about the background, it's because I'm actually the video producer of a lot of our LinkedIn live shows. I just really wish our control room looked half this good. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on. And I'd like to address what I'm going to call major trends in the industry. So, and you'll know them all, they're pretty obvious. Digital delivery is a major trend where we've gone from the typical delivery models to being able to order and have it delivered sometimes same day. Automation is another trend, and not automation in the way you think of in the past. What's happened with automation now is that we've put telemetry on a lot of the automation and between the points in the whole process. So now you can watch the entire flow, see bottlenecks, and correct them almost immediately. IT transformation, well, we all know IT's gone from the back office business, just keeping the lights on, to basically being integrated with every business function there is. And they now look at business delivery as part of what they do. Business transformation, well, with all of the new technology and all of the new methods and procedures coming forward, businesses have been forced to basically redesign their operating models. They need to look at things in terms of moving the decision closer to the point of the work being done, which I think has been a major change. And of course, major trend, AI, how can we forget that? AI has moved into being a core capability. It's gone from the, well, can we use AI to where do we use AI and how can we get the most out of it? And AI has evolved also. We now have generative AI, which has moved from the novelty stage into workflow. But part of that is generative AI likes to fill in the gaps. So when you don't give it enough information, you get hallucinations. And that's one of the things that we need to be better at, is putting guardrails around that. So if we look at what I think the major trends are: digital delivery, automation, IT transformation, business transformation, AI, generative AI. But there's something else that's part of that. There's a security thread that runs through every single one of these trends. And the reason why is these trends basically give us leaps in speed, connectivity, and data sharing, but that also increases our vulnerability to attack. So cybersecurity stops becoming an IT issue and becomes an enterprise risk issue at this point. All right, with all that said, what's my prediction for 2026? Quantum computing. Okay, you're probably saying, wait a minute, that's been around for a while. It has, but the real issue with quantum computing is capacity. It's very, very limited capacity, and what is available is primarily taken up for scientific research, simulations, optimization. There's very little capacity left for true business functionality. But that's going to change, especially in 2026, and here's why I think it matters. Quantum computing changes the timescale. Problems that were effectively impossible with classic computing now start moving into the realm of feasible. Not everywhere, not all at once, but it's going to force a shift in how we think about business and the speed at which it operates. And of course, under that is the security thread showing up once again. Because now, when you look at what we currently do to protect data with encryption, quantum computing changes that. And the fear now is not only quantum computing being used for future break-ins, it can be used to break in on data that was stolen years ago and was encrypted. So quantum will not just accelerate in computing, it will accelerate the risk, and security is going to move from one of those things at the bottom to one of the things that's key and critical. So that's my prediction. Also in 2026, the Institute will be doing a lot of new things. You've already seen the fact that we've started advisory services. We're launching a whole new set of advisory services in 2026, one of which is we've redesigned, using our IP, the tool, the Transformation Accelerator. Its purpose is to basically help companies that have gotten stuck on their transformation journey. Think of it as roadside assistance for your transformation journey. It'll identify spots that are bottlenecks, and it'll provide recommendations on what you can do to move it forward. And we're bundling that as part of a service as opposed to just a tool. We'll also be providing some enhancements to our digital transformation broadcast network, and we'll also be rolling out a series of masterclasses. And all of this is in addition to the great content and thought leadership provided by all of our fellows. So I hope you all have a safe and healthy holiday season, and we'll see you again in 2026, because we're going to take the next few weeks off and take a little bit of a break. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for joining Digital Dialogue. Look for more episodes at noon Eastern Time on most Tuesdays of every month. Can't join the live session? You can watch the replay anytime on our YouTube channel.